Good evening. Rescuers all agree it was a miracle. 6 drivers escaping a spectacular Hume Highway inferno that's left 6 semi-trailers in ashes. The fiery pile-up at Breadalbane shutting the key transport route and forcing massive detours.
Special gear had to be sent from Sydney as fears grew over toxic smoke, the wreckage burning for hours.
Like Hell's Highway, a 5 a.m. pile-up of semi-trailers, trucks packed with tons of explosive, flammable cargo, sparking an unholy inferno, shocking seasoned rescuers.
It is nothing short of a miracle.
It certainly is a miracle.
Like something out of a war, smouldering melted metal after one truck ploughed into another, shunting 4 more parked in a rest stop, the drivers asleep, shocked awake, the wreckage causing a scene of confusion.
We've only just discovered in the last 15 minutes that there were 6 semi-trailers and not 7.
Fueling the blaze, 8 tonnes of butane gas, 38,000 litres of lemon lime bitters, explosive fennel resin, dog food, rice.
We've also had memory foam mattresses on another truck, which is proving quite difficult for us to extinguish, as you could imagine.
A heat camera showing how even hours later, the wreckage remains a hot white mess.
2 drivers were conveyed to hospital for mandatory testing, but no injuries.
The crash shutting 80 kilometres of the Hume Highway, forcing a diversion from Yass to Canberra, then up to Yarra, adding an hour and 20 minutes to the trip. The fire became more than that. It was a hazmat emergency, and firefighters put sniffer drones into the air to monitor the atmosphere for potentially dangerous chemicals.
We've notified them residents to stay inside, keep their windows closed.
By this afternoon, the Hume Highway was partially reopened southbound as police continue their investigations and scratching their heads on how anyone survived.
It blows me away that those six patients were able to walk out of such a scene like that. It was incredible.
Live to Josh Mutton at that crash site. Josh, how long will it take to clean up the mess?
Good evening, Angie. It will be hours well into tomorrow until this crash site is cleaned up. Heavy machinery is right now being brought into the site here at Breadalbane. There is a tow truck behind me, as well as Manitous and excavators. They have started cleaning up the crumpled mess from this fiery crash today. Somehow, emergency services are hoping to open one northbound lane of the Hume Highway tonight, so that will see traffic flowing in both directions. The Transport Workers Union are calling for an inquiry into this crash and the pressure that is placed on the nation's truck drivers. There have been 88 deaths related to truck crashes this year, 23 of those are truck drivers, but for the 6 drivers who walked away alive today, they will be very thankful. Angie?
Josh Martin reporting. Thank you.
The Thai murder case against an Australian man has taken a chilling twist, with police now investigating possible links to 2 eerily similar unsolved crimes. In both cases, the victims were stuffed into suitcases and dumped in the same region south of Bangkok.
Simon Carman awaits his first court appearance for murder. In the background, Thai police have confirmed to 7 News they're working out if 2 other murders are linked. The bodies were also found stuffed in suitcases around the Pattaya region, one in February last year, the other September. The bags dumped in water and filled with weights. Both cases remain unsolved, the victims unidentified. There's no suggestion Australian Simon Carman is involved, but police will compare DNA evidence between those cases and his.
It may or may not be linked, but quite suspicious. It's in a similar area. The fact that suitcases were used.
Thai police say 17-year-old Tunchanok Donhomla sent a message to her friend telling him she was with Simon and had arrived at his apartment. Hours later, the 46-year-old accused man wheeled a suitcase out the door. Police allege the teenage victim was inside after being strangled. He didn't know what to do, says the local police chief. So at that point he panicked, stuffed her body into the bag and kept it in the bathroom for about a day before taking it out to be disposed of. When he was back in Perth, this is where he lived, an industrial area.
He sold all his stuff and disappeared.
Where people who know him say he lived a quiet life.
A bit of strange man, I would say.
There's a few people around here that aren't surprised by what's happened.
The Department of Foreign Affairs can only offer the accused Australian limited assistance.
It's a horrific case and I think we've all been horrified.
This is brutal, says a tourist from Bangkok. The girl didn't do anything wrong, she was just here for a good time. Blake Johnson, 7 News.
Simon Carman is one of dozens of Australians to be arrested in Thailand every year.
Hugh Whitfeld's here now to tell us about it. Hugh, Australian officials are certainly kept busy.
Michael Angeli, they certainly are. Excluding natural disasters and terror attacks, Thailand is the top place in the world for Australians requiring help from our government. More than 1,000 consular cases a year. We seem to get into more trouble in Thailand than even Bali, Indonesia. DFAT says key drivers of that include older Australians retiring to Thailand or marrying a local later in life. The latest data we have says 80 Australians are arrested a year in Thailand. If convicted of murder, Simon Carman could face the death penalty, but it is used sparingly in Thailand just once in the last 17 years. Michael, Angie.
Hugh, thank you for that. Well, it's another bumper night for Sydney service stations with drivers in a race against the clock to beat a midnight price rise. Let's go to Clementine Cunio, who's at Pearl Petrol in Enfield. And Clem, time is running out, I guess, for Sydney's cheapest fuel in years.
That's right, Michael. You'd have to go back to the pandemic lockdowns of 2021 to find prices like these. Tonight, diesel is averaging $1.73 a litre across Sydney and unleaded $1.52. But you can get it for $1.39 here at Pearl Petrol in Enfield, and the queues speak for themselves.
I've got like half a tank, so I want to fill it up before the petrol price goes up.
And then I have to go home and get my daughter's car and fill up her car too.
Now, a big part of these prices was Canberra's move to scrap the 32 cents of excise we pay on every litre of fuel when the war in Iran broke out in February. And you can see it certainly helped keep prices down. But it's all about to end with excise back from midnight, although at a half rate for now of 16 cents a litre. Now, Michael, the good news is not every suburb will see a hike from midnight. Service stations will put up their prices only once they receive a delivery of excised fuel in the coming days.
All right, Clementine Cunio reporting. Thank you.
Unions are backing a push for young Australians in their first part-time jobs to be paid superannuation. The Albanese government's considering it, but there are concerns the impact on small businesses could see employment opportunities dry up.
The toiling teens, hundreds of thousands of young Australians working part-time for low pay and in most cases no super.
Why is it that teenagers are getting literally cheated out of their superannuation?
The Greens pushing the government to correct that, backed by powerful Labor-affiliated unions.
I do think this is a really important issue.
The Treasurer revealing he's meeting with unions, super funds and young people considering the change.
We're always looking for ways to strengthen the superannuation system.
Changing the rules would mean 515,000 teens will get an average of $3,400 in super before turning 18, totalling $400 million a year.